What do you call a bee that composes music? What? Beethoven. Dude. Bees are awesome. These little creatures come in all shapes and sizes, helping the health of plants and crops alike to thrive. Bees evolved from predatory wasps some 120 million years ago, and there's an estimated 20,000 different bee species around the world today, all playing their part in ensuring healthy ecosystems. Honeybees are probably the most well-known bee species in the world today, probably because they produce honey, this thing that they regurgitate and then we humans love to eat. Honeybees also waggle, aka dance, to inform other bees of a nectar source that they have found, which is pretty cool. Bees produce honey and they dance. Even though honeybees and bumblebees are major players in pollination, it's still vital that we help to protect all bee species around the world to help ecosystems thrive. So, apart from bees being great dancers, they also play a critical role in the phenomenon known as pollination. As told by the trusty Wikipedia page, pollination is the transfer of pollen from an anther of a plant to the stigma of a plant, later enabling fertilization and the production of seeds, most often by an animal or by wind. Bees are pollinators, spreading pollen from plant to plant or flower to flower, enabling them to reproduce through fertilization and the creation of seeds, which then help that plant's survival, causing a positive chain reaction in that particular ecosystem. Pollinators help roughly 30% of crops grow worldwide, and about 90% of plants in general require cross-pollination. That just shows how important bees really are and how much we've come to rely on them. And of course, they aren't the only pollinators. Here is a list of some honorable mentions. We've got butterflies, wasps, beetles, flies, birds, bats, and other insects. So then, what's the problem? The problem today is that bees are struggling to keep up with a changing climate and a changing environment through things like pesticides, droughts, air pollution, land use change, pathogens spread by commercially managed bees, intensive agricultural change, and more show that the odds are stacked against the bees. So it's critical that we support the bees because of the reasons I listed before this, and the fact that what is considered to be one of the smartest individuals to have ever walked the earth, Albert Einstein, said, "If the bee disappeared off the face of the earth, man would only have 4 years left to live." And no, I have no idea why I think that's what Albert Einstein sounds like. Dude, you know you can just use Google and see what he sounds like? Dude, don't be like that. Now, we don't know how accurate that statement is, but clearly it's enough to motivate us to put us into action. So, how can we help support bees, one of the biggest players in the pollinator world? Well, here are 5 ideas of what you can do by yourself or within your community if you have the means. Number 1, fill your garden or your yard, your balcony, with native plants. Bees rely on blooming wildflowers, shrubs, and trees to provide food, which is nectar and pollen. Flowers should blossom over the seasons, from early spring to late fall. Choose a diversity of native species of all shapes and sizes. Try to plant big batches next to each other so that there's less distance for the bees to travel. A quick Google search to see what native flowers belong in your region is all it takes, and seeds are usually very inexpensive. This will help the native bees thrive and naturally boost the little ecosystem that is in your yard. Number 2, limit the pesticides or the herbicides that you use in your garden. Bees are insects, so using insecticides on your lawn and garden will kill them. Avoid plant-killing herbicides and plants that are pre-treated with insecticides like neonics. Buy pesticide-free plants and try time-tested techniques like hand-picking pests and using physical barriers to keep pests out. Also, when grocery shopping, try to buy organic so that you can support the farmers who are not using these insecticides and these harmful chemicals that are hurting the bees. Number 3, and this one is super easy, just add water to your garden or your yard, or even your balcony. Bees drink water, but they're pretty limited in their options of water to drink. Just putting out a shallow plate with some water and refilling it every couple of days or so will keep the water fresh, and the bees will love it. Number 4, and this is a pretty fun one, investing or buying a bee house or a bee hotel. It's essentially like a birdhouse, but for bees. Now, this isn't for everyone, and I wouldn't really recommend it if you have a tiny garden, because having a beehive in your backyard may lead to quite a few stings. But if you have a large plot of land, this could be a great way to help support bees and also bring value to your land, since these bees will naturally help the wildlife there. And you could potentially harvest some honey if you are harboring honeybees and either consume it yourself or sell it off to, I don't know, a major grocery store. But definitely consult with a professional before buying a bee house or a bee hotel, because yeah, I don't want to get sued and I don't want you to get a bunch of
bee stings.
Lastly, number 5, support bee charities or bee activists within your local community. These groups tend to be very educated and are willing to teach others on how to support bees. By supporting these types of organizations, you will be directly supporting bees, because this is what these individuals specialize in. Alright, so to conclude, by supporting bees, we're going to be supporting ourselves in the long run, with potential for higher crop yields, more wildlife plants that can store CO2, more biodiversity which helps ecosystems thrive, potential for more honey, which Winnie the Pooh approves, and simply just greener spaces for us to enjoy. So, if we behave in ways to support bees, we can begin to believe that the world will become a better place. Dude, that was just unnecessary and that was way too many puns. Well, I like puns, what can I say? That's it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe with your friends, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.